steps on this, just like there were 2 steps at the beginning. It's still pretty straightforward. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to find r. To find r, you're going to take x and square it. You're going to take y and square it, and you're going to add it together. So that is going to turn into 1 plus 1, which is 2. And you can't take the root of 2, so that's your r value. All right, here we go. This is why we reviewed those tangent numbers. Remember, tangent of the angle is y over x. The y value is -1. The x value is +1. -1 divided by +1 is 1. Just kidding, it's -1. Now remember, all of your +1 and -1s for tangent, that has a denominator of 4. But here's the deal. This is why you have to think. You have to match the quadrant. Y'all, +1, -1, that's in quadrant 4. So what does this numerator have to be? It has to be in quadrant 4. 7. Great job. Awesome. That's it. So to write this in polar form, I ran out of room. I'm going to write it up here. Here's the r value. And then here's the angle. That's all you got to do. It's like a matching game. All right, let's take a look at number 5. I'm going to write a little bit smaller. I'm going to zoom in, write a little bit smaller. Okay, r value, x squared plus y squared. That's just 9 plus 9. 9 plus 9. That's going to be the square root of 18. But remember, there's a perfect in that. You got to take that 9 out by its root. That's 9 plus 9. All right, cool. That's the r value for sure. Let's focus on tangent. So tangent of the angle is going to be y over x. And that's still a -1. So it's still going to have a denominator of 4, but it has a different numerator. What's the numerator? Yes, wonderful. Quadrant 2, quadrant 2. Excellent, excellent. Let's just write it as the polar coordinates of 3 root 2, comma 3 pi over 4. That's how you do it. All right, so just a reminder, it was a quadrant match. We knew this was in quadrant 4. That's why that's 7 pi over 4. We knew this was in quadrant 2. That's why that's 3 pi over 4. But look at numbers 6 and 7. Those aren't even in quadrants. So if they're not in quadrants, where are they relative to the origin? So look at number 6, 3.2 comma 0. Relative to the origin, is that above, below, to the right, or to the left of the origin? It is. Let's write that down. That matters. Let's go ahead and talk about number 7 at the same time. Is this above, below, to the left, or to the right of the origin? Yeah, that matters. You'll see. Okay, here we go. So back to problem number 6. Let's go ahead and find that r value. That's going to be 3.2 squared plus 0 squared. 3.2 squared is 9.4, but I'm taking the square root of that, and we just squared 3.2. So the r value is 3.2. Let's focus on tangent. Here we go. It's going to be y over x, 0 over 3.2. That's okay. 0 on the top is fine. The tangent value is 0. So if the tangent value is 0, remember, you can have 0 for tangent on the right side of the unit circle and on the left side of the unit circle. Since this ordered pair is to the right of the origin, we want the right side of the unit circle. So what are the radians when you have a tangent of 0? What's the radians of that? It's 0 pi, that is correct. We definitely want 0 pi. Y'all, plain pi gives you 0 also. But plain pi is to the left, this is to the right. So we want the right side. So polar form is going to be 3.2. And I'm just going to write the pi symbol so y'all know that I wrote it in polar form. Okay, last one, and I'm really going to write small because I'm still writing too big. All right, let's go ahead and find the r value. R equals x squared plus y squared. That turns into 64. Y'all, what's the square root of 64? 8. Good. It's always positive. We're in the business of taking positive roots here. So even though that started out as a negative 8, we always take the positive root. All right, let's focus on this tangent. Tangent is going to be y over x. Oof, that hurt to write that because that's undefined. Tangent is undefined at the top and bottom of the unit circle. Which degree or which radians do we want for this? Pi over 2 or 3 pi over 2? 3 pi over 2. Yes, we do. Great job. So polar form is 8 and then positive 3 pi over 2. And I'm just going to highlight my answers because they're just kind of all over the place here. And you know what, guys? I am so concerned about you doing so well on this. We're going to do one more. And it's one of your homework problems. So flip over the page and please find this. I think this is number 10. Does number 10 say that? Okay. We're going to convert this to polar form. Before I begin, what quadrant is this in? It is. All right. Cool. Quadrant 1. Here we go with our finding our value. X squared and y squared. Ooh, so our r value is the square root of 12. Y'all, there's a perfect in 12. That's 4 times 3. Here we go. All right, there's our r value. Now let's try to find tangent. So remember, tangent of theta is going to be y over x. Ooh. What degree is, or what are the radians for this? It's pi over 6. First quadrant and everything. I don't need to do any changes to that. Good. So your polar form is 2 root 3 and then pi over 6. I just wanted to show you one of those different ones.